So for many years, I've been teaching financial literacy classes for artists and other freelancers because it's such an underserved community. And there were a couple of themes that kept coming up in my classes. One was that there's no written education information available to people who are in the arts or freelancers. Most of what's out, there's a lot of information out there, but most of it is geared towards what I refer to as the ordinary people who have 9-to-5 jobs, work, get their 401k, healthcare, everything else. Not geared towards people who have income that varies radically from month to month, and that they have to kind of take care of everything themselves. And the other theme that kept coming up was how much they wish this information had been available to them when they were younger. So a while ago, I wrote a book called Thriving Artist, which was published by Taylor and Francis. Their imprint Focal published it. And it's specifically geared towards educating artists about their finances and how they can use the financial markets and financial investments to support their work as an artist and to sort of break down that barrier. And while I was doing that, I always had in my head this idea that it would be great to do a series of children's books to sort of introduce children to this at a very young age, but in an entertaining way. But I needed an illustrator, right? So, and I was always kind of on the search for one, but not sort of actively looking for an illustrator. Then I met Franklin several years ago. And of course, I saw Franklin's oil paintings and his kind of high art work, which is very surrealistic and not in any way related to something that would be done for children. So I never kind of gave it a thought. But then he participated in that wonderful event called Inktober, which happens in October, where artists around the world do a drawing every day. And his Inktober was centered around an original character of his called Ipe, which is a cute little character. And I was like, wait a minute, he could maybe do the illustrations for a children's book. So I started working on the story for the first book. The first book in the series is called A Bell for Maury's Bicycle. And then Franklin and I started having discussions about, he didn't want to use the Ipe character because he wanted to reserve that for other things. So we started developing the character of Maury and the world that Maury lived in.
That's wonderful. Now, Franklin, tell me about the process of creating Maury, your preparation, and how much input did David have in the visual depiction of Maury?
So we start thinking would be the good subject for use for the book, and then we was thinking that can be humans, that can be animals. What would be the good characters we can create here? And of course, I really love chipmunks and squirrels, and we know they are very great collectors. So I just talked with him. Maybe we can make squirrels, and we can start to create the universe with them. And we start to have some decisions like that will be just squirrels. We can include the other animals, so that will work. So that was a little longer to developing the whole characters, how will be the palette colors or size, or how will be his friends. Will be already squirrels, but not. We include the other animals, so we can make that like very diversity in the animal world. Everybody's included. So that was really fun because we was making the whole decisions together. I believe if I do commissions for people I'm not too closer, so we'll be like, I send one email, look this, and wait. No, so we are in touch every day. So I'd say, I had one idea, maybe we can do that. Or David come back, maybe we can do that too. So I think it was constantly working with this. For me, it was amazing to create the first one because the other ones start to be easy, when we know everything or the whole steps, how to make that palettes or line art, style, the word that we created, the nature or things like this. So yes.
I love it. So tell me, how many books have you done so far about Maury?
So there's 3 so far in the series. The third one just came out in beginning of June of this year. And that was, so the first 2 were really geared towards learning to save, learning to delay gratification, to work towards doing something yourself, which is challenging for many children. The second one involves Maury's parents, and it was important to both Franklin and I that both the mother and the father were equally involved in the financial education for the child. So they helped him open a savings account. He collects his nuts, that he uses to buy things. So they help him open a savings account. What that is. The third one is around charitable giving and how his parents teach him the importance of charity and the importance of taking care of other people, and how that is also an important component of financial literacy. It's not just about doing for yourself, but doing for others, because you never know when you may need it yourself.
That's wonderful. Are you thinking about book number 4?
Yes. I think we're taking a bit of a pause, I think, just for a few months, because we've been basically, what was it, Franklin? One a year almost, right? Which is a lot.
Yes. Yeah, I think already was one per year. We publish one per year. Yes.
Yeah. There's a couple of other topics that I do want to cover at some point in future, but I also want to start inserting books that help children develop some of their skills, so they like practice books, if you were, how you can practice along with Maury. So I think one of those would probably be next up, and then, do some of the other stories later on.
Tell me about unexpected challenges when it came to this book series. What did you learn that you didn't really know before about creating a children's book?
I think for me, you have to say it in a way that's going to engage the child, right? Because if you don't, a lot of the literature out there that's geared towards children, and when I was doing some research on what that was very dry and very, very, very educational, but in your face educational. I was like, we have to find a way to tell stories that the children are going to get engrossed in, and then as a side benefit, they're going to learn something about financial literacy, as are their parents, because a lot of the parents, we just don't have a lot of financial literacy available. I think when Franklin and I were looking at a lot of the drawings and the illustrations he was doing, I think he snuck in some references to his Brazilian culture, which I really loved. He also snuck the Ipe character in a few places, so kids can look for that. But we would look at them and we would say, like at one point in the first book, we realized one of the illustrations where Maury and his friends were riding their bicycles, they didn't have helmets on. So it's like, whoops, we have to fix that because we had to. So we were always kind of looking at it. Or remember, Franklin, there was one toy that you put in one of his games, and I was like, that toy's banned in the United States. We can't have that be an illustration in the book. So we were constantly kind of having to look at it through those lenses of making sure, okay, we're being safe, we're covering all our bases, we're being diverse without being in your face, we're being gender neutral without being in your face, all those kinds of things.
Franklin, as a painter and as a fine artist, was the transition into children's illustration easy, or were there bumps in the road?
I think it's always never is easy, because when you start to understand our style for creator many stuff, we need to turn that for another thing. So we need to come back to practice more and more and see a lot of reference, or see some friends we follow and social media, we already see what is many people are doing. I remember at the beginning I started going to the bookstores and I stayed to the kids section, and I remember my first time, I think it was Barnes Noble. So I just where's the kids sections? I just arrived and I say, oh my God, because it's huge. It's for any ages and a lot of styles, and I start to see a little bit of all of that one. I think I made this for like 3 weeks. I pick a day and go there, spend a few times and look, take pictures, look the styles, how they do, and I I already showed some of the examples for David for we decided what style will be. So, and after that, I was trying to create something I really like to do because I have my challenge every month in my live stream, and that's the opportunity for I try different things. I try different brushes, I try different techniques. It's the time for I enjoy that time for make something out. And I believe practicing also digital art because, of course, in the beginning I don't have that. I don't have that resource. I don't have like digital art. So I introduced myself like 10 years ago with my first teacher about digital art. And that was a chance also to, let me see this brush, how this works. And I started a little to introduce the digital art in my art process because before I do any painting, I do the digital first because it's 1,000 possibilities that I can do or change the colors or everything. But yes, that takes time for the first one to create something and be cute or interesting or decided how much details I will include on that one. And I'm very a kind of old style also in digital arts because you have some brushes to save time and then, oh no, I need to make this, so I take a like grass brush and boom. No, I don't. I love to, it's like painting. You take your time before I do grass by grass. And my friends look at that and say, oh my God, that will take their eternity to do it. And I say, of course, I will enjoy this. So I believe it was very interesting to take that time to turn my style for something interesting for kids. And it's too hard. It's too hard to do that. But I really love this opportunity. And it starts to be more easy now because I know how I do that, or I know how my jacks should be, or the colors I can use. So it starts to be more comfortable now.
Oh, it's wonderful. Well, for everyone listening, I recommend going to adventuresofmaury.com to see this beautiful trilogy of books. And also, of course, I recommend coming to the gallery while the exhibit is up, because not only will you get to meet Maury and see more about his journey, but you also get to see more about Franklin's journey as an illustrator and how he takes these steps to create these beautiful illustrations that complement really incredible stories that not only benefit the child listening to the story, but benefit the adult reader as well. So Franklin and David, thank you so much for spending time with me.